Since 1926, when Home Trust Bank began, we have been building relationships by getting to know our neighbors. Let's talk today. Visit hometrustbanking.com, member FDIC.
Visit Home Trust Bank at 100 West Main Street, downtown Cherryville, and at 224 East Warren Street in Shelby.
Hello and welcome to the Renaldo Automobile Postgame Show. I can't do that Steve Robay, Calvin. You got to get him back in.
Yeah, we
here.
got to get him back in here, that's for sure.
Steve, I hope you're listening to us. Best wishes. Hope you have a speedy recovery and come back to join us, buddy. Calvin said he really missed you on nights
We
like
do.
this.
We really do. Especially, around the bewitching hours.
Oh, yes.
Midnight's coming. It's on the way, right?
When somebody puts in a long day like
That's right.
you, Calvin,
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little late. This is cutting into your nap time.
Just a little bit anyway, but that's all right.
The reason this is a post-game show is because it's after the game and you turn in to hear the scores.
That's it.
So without further ado, Terry's over here putting up some scores, and I'm just going to start over here with trust me, folks, this is the only score on this board over here. Crest 27, Shelby 6. Enough said. We'll talk about that later. Over here on the second board, Hunter Huss 35, Hickory 7. And we've got Alexander Central 56, North Lincoln 24. It's West Lincoln. Terry, what's got into them Rebels? 42-10 over Fred T. Ford tonight. Another win for the West Lincoln Rebels. Pisgah over RS Central tonight, 35-13. It was East Henderson over the Chase Trojans tonight, 47-21. Maiden, man, they got a good team this year. They're doing well. They beat St. Stephen's tonight, 21-13. It was Newton Conover 41, East Burke 14. Bandy 62, Bunker Hill 6. It was Thomas Jefferson, the Griffons tonight, 54, Trinity 14. And Coach Chris Hawk over there with the Mountain Island Charter crowd tonight beat Victory Christian 60-0 tonight, 60-0. And Clover and South Point in a slobber knocker interstate rivalry down there. Clover 30, South Point Red Raiders 21. Now later on in the season, Shelby and South Point play in the same conference. Those are two teams that are not having typical years for them. That game will be a real slobber knocker to see who can come out on top on that one. Well, right now I'm holding it down by myself while Terry's checking out some scores and Kevin's making his way back to the station. He's out doing all sorts of things to make sure these games come on. Speak of the devil, no pun intended there. But here he is, the man, Kevin. Kevin was over at Crest a little bit tonight, making sure everything worked on the internet. Good job, Kevin, getting everything set up over there for the internet program tonight. Appreciate you and the Cleveland County Public Schools allowing us to do that.
Well, nobody told me that we had started. I was down the hall, and next thing I know, I hear Dennis talking down here. I was like, well, no, who's talking to Dennis?
Can't you take a
no,
hint?
I guess. Dennis was ready to talk, so that's good. We've got some scores that are already coming in. Finals, that Shelby Crest final 27-6. Hunter Huss, Hickory 35-7. Alexander Central big winners tonight, 56-24 over North Lincoln. Bandy's 62-6 over Bunker Hill. East Burke falls Newton Conover 41-14. Maiden 21-13 winner over St. Stephen's. Chase falls to East Henderson 47-21. Pisgah 35-13 over RS Central. West Lincoln 42-10 over Fred T. Ford. Terry will be in here to talk about that. And the Rebels climbing up the top 10 list. Thomas Jefferson 54-14 winners over Trinity. Mountain Island Charter 60-0 over Victory Christian tonight.
Bessemer City Yellow Jackets and Thomas Jefferson Griffons take note there.
Yeah, Bessemer didn't give up a point tonight. South Point falls to Clover 30-27. to 21. Did you hear that, Will?
That's the South Point
That's
Red
when they give up
Raiders.
a point
That's
tonight.
not the ones down in South
Better
Carolina.
buy.
Terry's got some more. Hold the presses here. Highland Tech. Terry,
Winning.
you got to be kidding.
Winning streak. Winning streak.
Undefeated.
Winning
Undefeated
streak.
Highland Tech.
2-0. They take out a 2A South Fork 2A team tonight. Highland Tech, that should be on the cover of the Gaston Gazette tomorrow if you're listening to me, Richard Walker. Highland Tech takes out South Fork 2A team on the road 35-28. The Rams, after 4 weeks, are undefeated at 2-0.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it, Will? Oh, by the way, I like your shirt there. Nissan.
Hey, that's some car dealer math right there that I just did a second ago.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, here comes Terry
Yeah,
with
yeah.
some more. East Rutherford,
We don't want that
45, Burns,
19. Hey, I'm telling you boys something. Y'all, would you go to Crest game night, Shelby, or anything?
I
Will?
come straight from work here.
Okay. So, what we had at Burns, East Rutherford, 7-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
45-19 final score, guys.
Nobody has ever said that the Cavaliers can't put points on the board.
Let me tell you something. They might have, when they play, the fastest player on the field at any given time. The quarterback, I think, there for them. I think it was the quarterback. Ran 2 up the middle. And as soon as he got second level, it was just dust in the wind.
Well,
See you later, alligator.
Hold on a minute, Kevin. No speculation here, but Shelby is 1-3. They play Kings Mountain next week, and they still have in the conference South Point and East Rutherford.
Kings Mountain struggling right now with Cuthbertson, and they're struggling with injuries.
Injuries, Kings Mountain.
It's a,
Who
we
knew?
say
That's
we
an old
say it
story.
every year. We don't know when and if Mac will be back. But right now they're winning. Last score I had.
I had one right here.
Did you get a
from
new
my
update, Dennis?
My good friend Robert
It was
Lutz.
34-19 last update we had, but Dennis might have a new one for you guys.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Just
If I
a
can pull it up here. Thanks to Robert Lutz, Natalie's dad, it's 41-19.
41-19.
With 11:58 in the
Mountain's up.
fourth, that's probably way over by now.
Looks like Mountaineers going to pull away with a win there over Cuthbertson.
And they got Shelby next week.
And that's going to be a big game. The next 3 or 4 weeks, that because how they split the conferences, Shelby and Kings Mountain, and then you've got the rise of Hunter Huss, Stuart Kramer playing well. So I want to go over some of the games while we're getting these scores in here, guys. Talk about these next few weeks, some of the big games coming
I
up.
can't wait for the rankings, Will. I want to see how that
It's gonna be
I don't
fun.
want to see the rankings because we're not going to move. We beat a 2A team. We don't get any points for that.
So no, you don't. So Burn, not a 1-3 team. Will, what do you want for that?
No. now we're putting in
We beat
brackets.
Shelby.
Now you don't want
We
anything
put
for
in
being a
rankings.
1-3 2A
We
team.
beat Shelby, and we can't even. We'll probably move down.
We'll probably move down with a win.
You beat the 18th ranked team. What do you want? A cookie? I mean, come on. I mean, what do you want? The
Chocolate
18th
chip,
ranked.
peanut butter. What do you got?
So some of the big games coming up. Listen to Crest next 4 weeks. Shelby, Weddington, Forest View, Kramer. They end the season, of course. Burns and Kings Mountain. Now, the Huss is in there in the middle of that too, by the way. How about for Hunter Huss? They win tonight. Hickory. They get a bye week before the conference place picks up there in the Big South. They open with North Gaston at Burns, at Kings Mountain, home against Crest. So they've got the 3-headed monster in a row there for Hunter Huss.
Well, wait a minute. The last time I heard that Weddington team was beating East Meck 55-0.
Yeah, that's the last score I got, but I think it went up some more.
Yeah.
That's
They're
a
the
very,
real deal.
very good, very
Yeah.
good.
We've been
Weddington
lucky
team.
to beat them in the playoffs the last couple of years, Will.
And
That's
they
been a
ain't forgot it.
Yeah. No, and it's down there.
Yeah.
So, of course, we know Kings Mountain, they don't shy away from anybody. They have got Shelby, Stuart, at Stuart Kramer, at North Gaston 3 weeks in a row.
Whoa.
Home against Huss. And, of course, the game everyone is looking forward to there maybe at the end of the season after next week's Shelby matchup, the Kings Mountain Crest matchup. Then looking on down the line, of course, and how about let's look at South Point in their conference. They've got they're losing. They lost maybe to Clover, I think.
They
Yeah, they
lost
did.
to
Was that a
Clover.
final? Okay. They're at Kramer next week. They're stronger. Then they got an open week, and then they open up conference play. They've got to go to East Rutherford, to South Point, and they've got to go to Shelby, to South Point. That 2A conference getting interesting.
Oh, wait a minute. When we're talking about Shelby,
is East Rutherford going to win that? And everybody, nobody picked South Point or Shelby.
Everybody's picked South Point and Shelby, but I think East Rutherford is. They're strong.
Folks, I'm telling you, tonight they were fast. Thompson and Fonnie will give us a call here in a little bit and talk about it.
Well, I don't want to mention anything, but Chase is much improved this year. I don't know if they're improved enough, but they're improved. So.
All right,
Dennis.
All right, we've got.
I'm trying to get Kevin to change.
All right, we've got a long show tonight. We haven't had a show really yet the past 2 weeks. We've been here for about 45 minutes or an hour the past 2 weeks.
Last week.
We did not take calls last week. We do have a caller right now. Now, after this, folks, we want to wait and get our announcers and everybody calling in for a little bit. So, no fan callers till about 11. That would give us about 40 minutes to get all this stuff in. Then, guys, we're going to open it up and let everybody else call. So, Steve DeGree's on the phone right now. He's one of our helpers at the games here of Shelby. So, fans, hold on to call till about 11. Then we're going to open it up and let you guys get after it for a little bit. We want to get these scores and talk about some of these other things that we haven't really got to talk about the last few weeks. But we got Steve DeGree on the phone, and this is what's great about Steve. You know, he's with our Shelby guys. We've talked to him in the past 4 or 5 years about how great this team is and this school's been doing. And it looks like they're running to a rough start to a year so far. And he still calls in when his rival beats him.
Win or lose, Steve's going to call.
I want to thank Steve for
He's a real fan.
All right, Steve, you there, buddy?
Yes, I'm here. How y'all doing?
Good. Give us a report on the biggest rivalry here in the western state of North Carolina.
All I know they just was out tonight. Anytime that your safety is your leading tackler, we don't need to say anything else. KJ Washington had double-figure tackles tonight. Chris just got up on us like Burns did and just ran the ball down the throat. They used ball control. You know, we just got to get better each week and take it from there. You know, the season's not over with yet because these games right here, it is the bragging right for the county. But these games right here is not going to get you in the playoffs. We could end up being 1-4 or 1-5 and still win the conference. Like you were saying a while ago, that one year we went, Jeff and them said we went like 9-6. We lost 6 games and still had a chance to play for the state championship. And one year, remember, guys, we was 12-4 and won the state championship. But I just take one win.
Well, Steve, you recall a few years back under Roy Kirby, Crest went 0-3 to open the season and won a state championship. So The one thing I saw about your Golden Lions tonight, Steve, I thought up at Burns you got down early and it let the air out of the balloon. I did not see the Shelby Golden Lions back off tonight. They were fighting to the end, and for a few breaks here or there, might have had an opportunity to tie this game, bring it close, possibly even win, but it was not to be for the Lions tonight. I know how that is, Steve. I look at the Crest teams the last couple of years, had great success, and then all of a sudden, due to the way things work in high school, your talent graduates or this, that, and the other happens. Other teams have a better group of players. It's getting you and your team and your fans through that difficult period. It says nothing bad about the program or the coaches. It's just that everybody has its ups and downs in high school football.
They say things come in the season. But right now we just gotta find a way to win. But the main thing, if you're a true Shelby fan, can't give up on the Golden Lions yet because we still got a long way to go. I know I would never, ever turn my back on those young men, because I coach most of them. They are fighters. Right now we're just trying to get some continuity together, get some first downs on the offense and, get some stuff going our way. But we don't want it to be the snowball effect. Once something bad happens, everything continue to happen. But, Chris, they whooped us. They make no excuses. Chris was the better team tonight, gentlemen, and we just got to find a way to win. Don't get no easy next week. We got Buffalo Creek, so we just got to keep on practicing and do your assignments and continue to play hard. And trust me, things will turn around.
My advice to Kings Mountain would be don't sleep on Shelby next week. That line has got a thorn in his paw, and he can be very dangerous. So watch out, as to what happens. Steve, I just got a story in to pass on to the fans here. Lincolnton 46, East Gaston 0 tonight. Lincolnton didn't start off very well. Good show tonight. So we've got some things that can turn around, and maybe a win over Kings Mountain next week would really turn it around for the Shelby Golden Lions.
Yeah, right now we just take a win no matter who it's against. But I know one thing, those guys won that black and gold. From what I know from those young guys, they're not going to quit. They're going to keep fighting and fighting. Once you get a line back in the corner, you never tell what might happen.
Well, Steve, we appreciate the fact that as a true Golden Lion, it doesn't matter if they win or lose, you're going to support the Lions, and you're going to call in and support us as to what goes on with the Golden Lions, and we wish you guys the best of luck from here on out the rest of the year.
And also, fellas, if you don't mind, I'm going to get us the middle school team a plug.
Yeah, sure.
We open up our season. Also, in Kings Mountain next week, we'll play the Patriots over on Gamma Stadium. The little 7th grade game will start like 4:30, and the regular game will start at 5. So if you want to see some future Golden Lions, if you don't mind, come out and support the Shepherd Middle School Blue Devil. And because Coach Tommy Weeks has been at Shepherd Middle School like 30-something years, and we got 22 conference championships. And so Coach Weeks really puts his heart into it, to what he's doing. And I would like to see any middle school team match his record. So if you got a chance, you want to see a pretty good team play, come out and watch the Blue Devils on Wednesday.
Well, Steve, take heart. Speaking of the future, I noticed that the Shelby JVs easily defeated the Crest Charger JVs last night. So it's not a total loss this week.
Well, no, just like I say, things happen in reasons for seasons. Sometimes, when you get knocked down, it's going to show you what kind of man you are. If you can get back up from it, or you're going to lay there.
All right, Steve. We appreciate it. I hope to be hearing from Bobby here pretty shortly. I figure he was at the game tonight.
I just said no callers till after 11, Dennis.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
You just can't. Dennis is so excited about Crest winning. He can't hold himself, guys. It had, they had a rough year last year, I guess, Dennis.
And the year before, let's be honest.
And the year before. So, yeah. We all can't win every year. Bestford's not doing good this year.
The sun don't shine on the same, dog.
Yeah, can't win every game. Cowboys hadn't won in 23 years. It's
but according to
final score, red alert.
Steve, Kings Mountain 48, Cusperson 19.
Cal, you ready for a break in there yet? Yeah, you want to? All right, it's time for let's take a quick break. We got some more scores coming in. We're getting ready for the top 10 in a little bit.
Oh,
Steve, you still there? I hear you.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought you got anything else to say? You said you was getting ready for a big middle school game this week, didn't you? You want to talk about that for a minute before we go?
Yeah, well, like I said, we haven't beaten Kings Mountain Middle in the last few years. We talked to our young man today about, just taking one step at a time. We played a team this Wednesday up in Hickory, and we won 34-16. But we played everybody, all 7th graders, we played everybody. So we just want the young men to play hard and, just get better every game. That's all you can ask for.
Well, Steve, you keep doing a good job over there teaching them young men how to play the game and be young men the way you do. You guys, thank you for everything you do over there in Shelby.
I really appreciate that, fellas, because, sometimes they go unnoticed. A lot of parents want all the kids to be a quarterback, but I coach the offensive line, so I like my hog.
Yeah, I know, right? Everybody wants to be the star, don't they?
That's right. Nobody. But as you notice, you go as your offensive line go.
Yeah, you do. You're right, and thanks for calling, and thanks for the work you do. And well, like I said, we'll see you next week. Got the Kings Mountain, another big game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, Steve, thanks for calling.
Okay, bud. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, credit, Shelby fell tonight. Gave up 27 points. Well, and you know, talking to Steve there, talking about the offensive line, and over the years, as far as the championships have gone, I've been on the field for about every one of them in our area, and everyone wants to talk about the offenses and everything, but every team that ended up winning the championship had a really good defense, and I think the defense actually won the games that they were in, except for, I think there was one, and the defense still shut out the team. There was one game, Shelby won there in Chapel Hill, that with Jaden Borders, that the other team just could not touch.
The last 4 they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They wouldn't touch. There was no
And that was going on. Those Shelby games, their defense was so good, and they had those explosive guys on offense. So, being down on the field, taking pictures and videos and tweeting and stuff, I mean, even in the championship games, they'd get the ball. I would just go towards the end zone because I knew it was about to get ugly with Jaden and them. But you don't always have that. You don't always have the run game you have or the passing game you have. But the defenses, these teams, if they'll keep playing defense, you know, like he said, you've lost a couple of games. Keep playing defense. Keep doing the solid things with your line. Get that together. You guys are going to start winning some games, and we'll make a playoff a run here.
But
and
you have
like
to,
I said, maybe a conference title.
But you also have to contribute. Like, Shelby's had that high-power offense for a long time, but there was a reason. I mean, the reason why he's saying that how your offensive line goes there, how you go. It don't matter how good your defense is. If they're not scoring, they're just stopping people, and you're not scoring, eventually they're going to get tired.
Oh, yeah.
So the offensive line is very important.
And one of the things, Will, too, that will wear your kids out. If your team is going out on offense, 3 and out. Shelby had one series tonight, 48 seconds.
Yeah.
Their defense is back on the field. You can't do that.
And
down after
especially
down
with
after.
the Crest offensive line, they're not small.
Yeah.
No.
They're not small.
Now, they have been in the past couple of years.
They have been.
And they struggled. Great guys.
Yeah.
Super tough kids, great fighters, get the most out of them. But, you know, it's one of those situations where, as you pointed out, these kids have been in the weight room.
Right.
They're bigger, and that's paying off for them on the offensive line when we're getting stopped behind the line. Now they're breaking through, getting that 8, 9 yards, you know, 2nd and 2. That's a whole lot easier.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break here in just a minute. Final numbers. Let me give you some quick numbers for you folks that, as Steve mentioned, everybody wants to be a star type of thing. Here's some numbers for you. We talked about this last Saturday on the Sports Talk Show Saturday morning. Odds of making it to the next level at any level. Yeah. The odds of being of any high school football player playing any college football, that's all the way from 1A through 1AA anything, is 12 and 1. 12 to 1.
Yeah.
So if you're not one of the best, you know, if there's 48 players on your team, you're not one of the top 4 players on that team, you're not even going to play any level of college football. How about 1 and 41 Division I? Got 41 players on your team, one of you is good enough to play Division I on average. So little Johnny's probably at odds not good enough to play Division I on that scale. And going pro, 1 and 601.
Yeah.
So
And that's just going.
That's just going pro and the average pro career is 3 years. You know, we was talking a little bit, us and the guys, a little bit about some players going pro throughout the years. And, you know, some guys could play 1 year. Robert Williams here from Shelby had one. I think some Bessemer guys had 2 years. And the average NFL is 3.
You know.
Yeah, so it's
All-American high school player. I mean,
the odds aren't in your
the
favor.
odds are not good. It's like I used to tell the kids back in high school, being an old basketball coach at the time. They would tell me, you didn't do too good on that test. Well, that's okay. I'm going to be playing in the NBA. I said, you understand that your chances of being a brain surgeon are better than being an NBA player.
And you just failed the test. So we got to go. Will's looking good in that purple and teal. Look purple and teal up here. God, ladies, whoever. All right, we got to go. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We got another score on the board before we go. Cherryville wins tonight over Drone, 46-8. We'll be back in just a few minutes to go over all the scores on ktcbroadcasting.com.
100 years of anything means a lot. And at Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, you'll find over 100 years of combined motorcycle experience. So they must be doing something right. If you're in the market for a new bike, trike, or four-wheeler or ATV, see the folks you can depend on for sales, service, and parts. That's Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, with over 100 years of combined motorcycle experience. Honda Motorcycles of Shelby, 4402 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Why service your vehicle at Renaldo Honda in Shelby? Well, the answer is simple. Their Honda Masters certified technicians aim to make your life easier with pickup and delivery up to 25 miles. Service loaners are available, plus Saturday hours to fit your busy schedule. The Renaldo Honda team provides premium upkeep for both your vehicle and you, with Wi-Fi, snacks and coffee, and a clean showroom to browse around. Enjoy getting your vehicle serviced at Renaldo Honda. Best service, best prices, best selection, one location. Renaldo Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall.
It's our end-of-season clearance event at James River Equipment. Cash in on great John Deere deals now through the end of September. A 560E 4x4 Gator will run strong for your budget at just $139 a month with 0.9% for 60 months. Shop these and other discounts at jamesriverequipment.com. Offer ends 9/30/18, subject to approved installment credit with John Deere Financial. 10% down payment required. Taxes, freight, setup, and delivery charges could increase monthly payments. See dealer for details.
For the best pizza in town, it's got to be Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory in Shelby, located at 1011 Grove Street, just off Highway 74 Bypass East. It's fun for the entire family at Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory. Call or stop by and let Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory take care of your takeout and catering needs. You'll find specialty pizzas, including liver mush pizza and bacon cheeseburger pizza, Philly cheesesteak, subs and wings, and delivery is available for all catering orders. And they offer discount rates for schools and churches. Jammin' Jay's Pizza Factory, 1011 Grover Street, off Highway 74 East in Shelby, open 7 days a week.
From Shelby, turn off Highway 74 at Highway 226, up Highway 226 to the caution light at Zion Church Road. There on the corner is Kibo's. Been there for over 20 years. Kibo's, where you'll find Hunt Brothers Pizza, snacks, candy, chips, also soft drinks, hand-dipped and packaged ice cream, bread, tobacco products, and much more. Yes, that's Kibo's. And don't forget to fill that vehicle up with gasoline at Kibo's, 226 North at the caution light in Shelby.
The Dodge Summer Clearance event is underway at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Shelby. During the Dodge Summer Clearance event, you can drive away in a new 2018 Dodge Challenger with up to $2,250 combined cash on select new 2018 Dodge Challenger models, and get up to $2,000 total cash on select new 2018 Dodge Durango models. Don't miss this special summer clearance event at Marburger Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Highway 74 Bypass East in Shelby. Check. Matt Surbeck, General Sales Manager with McKinney Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac in Lowell, is a proud resident of Cleveland County. And Matt wants to take this time and invite his friends and neighbors to McKinney Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac for your next vehicle purchase. The selection is great, and Matt will make sure you get the price you need to fit your pocketbook. So do the neighborly thing. See Matt Surbeck at McKinney Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac, 831 South Main Street in Lowell, online at McKinneyChevrolet.com.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
Your Auto Owners Insurance Agency is Maxwell Hamrick Insurance Agency in Bowling Springs, Shelby, and Spindale. Online at mbhamrickins.com.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch no bandit run.
I say, boy, pull that car over here. Never mind.
I want to hear the banjo music on the next one from Deliverance. Yeah, that's the one you want to hear. You got any other good Burt Reynolds stuff you used to like to watch? It used to be a TV show he was on.
But did any of you hear
Gunsmoke?
Was he some type of name?
Trivia question. What years was Burt Reynolds a cowboy at Ghost Town in the Sky?
I don't understand anything you just said to me.
That's pretty good.
So,
What years did Burt Reynolds play a cowboy at Ghost Town in the Sky at Maggie Valley?
You mean a Dallas Cowboy or a
No,
cowboy?
real
cowboy?
cowboy.
A real cowboy.
I'm trying to figure out what. See, like I said, I didn't understand the thing you just said. But
Ghost Town in
Cow-
the Sky.
cow
Calvin
folk.
never took you up there? Oh, that's right. You weren't born.
the best movie he was in was a football movie. What was it?
Long and short.
Long and short. You know, he played football at Florida State.
Yeah.
And Terry,
Hang
you'll
on a
like this. The reason he didn't go pro was because they lost to NC State.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't pick him either if he lost to NC State. I don't know how Mitchell Trubisky got picked. He lost to State and Duke. He got picked in the top 3. Like, who's in charge of that?
I don't know, but he's probably not there anymore.
Jeez. Speaking of local folks, Bobby Buckets today signed a professional contract.
Who?
Bobby Buckets.
Bobby Buckets.
Gosh, you claim you're from Shelley, but you don't know anything. Bobby Buckets. Clemson's Gabe DeVoe signed to play in Poland today. Professional
His mother
contract
told
in
me he was
Poland.
playing overseas.
Well, that's overseas in
Poland, huh?
Poland.
Okay.
So now he can change his name to the Polish Bobby, or Bobby Polish.
Bobby
Polish.
Pole. Bobby Kowalski or something.
Yeah.
Bobby Kowalski.
So anyway, so congratulations, Gabe, signed that. He was in the NBA Summer League this year.
Well, you know,
Keep on shooting that basketball.
You know, his cousin coaches the New Orleans Pelicans. And,
Can't get a tryout.
And Magic Johnson really liked him and wanted to draft him with the Lakers.
They got too many people with the ball, I would say.
Yeah.
You know?
I think all their money went to LeBron or something.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll put it this way. If I had $20 to bet on a shooting contest, I'd take Gabe. I'll see what Will thinks. If you had $20 on a shooting contest, would you take Gabe or LeVar Ball? I mean, Lonzo Ball.
Oh, Gabe all day.
I know, right? Like, all right, here's our number 2 pick. Here's the guy's going to
Kaepernick
Poland. He
didn't
can
get that
shoot
shoe
way
contract
better.
with LeVar Ball.
I mean, LeVar says he can beat Michael one-on-one.
2 birds with 1 stone.
The best picture ever, I still think on the internet ever, is is the picture of LeVar Ball on the Panthers team photo. Did you know? Have you seen
His
that one?
dad played for the Panthers.
Yeah, LeVar did. In the picture, in the team photo, what's even funnier about it, he's right behind Jerry Richardson. Like, there's Jerry, there's LeVar Ball. That's the team photo.
Just goes to show, Will, that Jerry is not a racist.
So here's my proposal. So, did y'all know? You know this. You know the rule where in the contract they had to keep the statue for Jerry over there.
Yes, even if they build another stadium.
Yes, that's the new thing that we didn't know about. If they build another stadium, they have to move it with it.
Yeah.
So my proposal is, someone needs to erect LeVar Ball standing behind Jerry into the statue.
Wait a
his
minute
practice jersey.
Over at UNC Charlotte, they're wanting to remove his name after he gave them $10 million.
And that's not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. So those
He got that
$10
$10 from the state of North Carolina, though.
That-
He asked for 110. Listen,
Actually,
he asked
the
for
city of Charlotte.
he asked for 110 million for elevators. I did the math on that.
Yeah.
At the highest, most expensive elevator, that means he could have put an escalator. He could put an escalator on every row of the stadium if he wanted to for the money he asked for.
Yeah.
He gave 10 million of that back to the kid. They had a losing season. He didn't sell his tickets. Every year the Panthers have a losing season. If you look back under Jerry, he'll ask for tax money. He got 110
And
million.
raised ticket prices.
10 million went straight back to UNC Charlotte to put his name on it. So if you don't think I'm telling the truth, y'all can look up. That's the facts, whether y'all believe it or not. So people like to deny things, but that's what happened. He got 110 million from the state, and then a week later, Jerry Richardson donates $10 million.
Oh, wait a minute. Here's a guy who played with the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
Caught a touchdown from Johnny Unitas. Got a $1,200 bonus for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Took the $1,200, said to the Baltimore Colts, came to Spartanburg and bought a Hardee's. And from that Hardee's, he just sold the team for $2.5 billion. Well,
Isn't that crazy?
that ain't
that's
bad.
a great
They need his name on the business.
That's a great investment. That's the way you invest $1,200 right there. I want $1,200 to bring me a return like that.
I don't even know how to go from there. Terry keeps putting up scores. Let's give scores, Will. We've got a bunch of scores that are in and over. We've got some of our games, Cherryville and Lincoln, finishing up. And hopefully those guys will give us a call and let us know what happened in those games before we get into some of our callers. So Some of the folks, some
Bring
of our
the Mohawk
broadcasters,
back,
go ahead and give them a call. And bring the Mohawk back. I mean, they're 3-1 right now, Will, in Cherryville land, Cherryland. And I'm sure Terry can get us some fun stats on Cherryville being 3-1. But they're moving on up in the standings. We're going to talk about our top 10 in a little bit. It's looking pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Number one.
No, I think Hustle's going to stay there as long as we can confirm what A they are from Terry. So let's have him come around the corner in a minute. All right, let's do some scores. East Rutherford 45-19 over Burns. Crest 27-6 over Shelby. Drawn falls to Cherryville 46-38. Lincoln goes on the road and blanks East Gaston 46-0. Congratulations to the Lincoln Wolves and Coach Ledford Gibson and the gang. Kings Mountain 48-19 winners over Cuthbertson tonight at home. Hickory falls at home to the Hunter Huskies, who are on fire. Highland Tech, guys, winning streak, undefeated after 4 weeks in the season. They're 2-0 after beating Lake Norman Charter, a 2A school.
If you had bet on that before the season started.
Oh, man.
In Gaston County alone, you could have probably cleared
that was $103.
Yeah.
Well, next week they're at Christ the King, guys. They might be 3-0. And then they host Community School of Davis, and then the meat of the conference schedule starts picking up there with Bessemer City, Pine Lake Prep, Thomas Jefferson, Cherryville, and they finish with Mountain Island Charter. That's where you'll know.
I mean, that Mountain Island Charter game might be a little tough on them, but that Bessemer City game might be a heartbreaker.
Easy.
Just saying.
Bessemer City.
I've heard some things.
Bessemer City didn't give up a point this week, Will.
I don't want to discuss it in front of Kevin. It might break his heart.
Will, Bessemer City didn't give up a point this week. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
And the reason they didn't
give up a point.
They didn't score any either, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, hey, got to work on the offense. Do have some big announcements coming over at Bessemer in a couple of weeks. I know I kind of talked maybe Dennis and them about it a little bit. Hey, you're about to change teams, Will. We're about to be the nest is about to be the place where you want to be. I'm just telling you, the nest, the hive, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, Yellow Jacket's nest. It's not hive. Is the place you want to be. It's
a hole in the ground.
No, there may be a new scoreboard.
Yeah.
Coming to Bessemer City.
Big. Make the
Big
Panthers
time.
look bad.
Yeah, Panthers are going to be envious of this scoreboard.
Uh-oh, look at this. Look at this.
Holy
Final
talk
score.
about a comeback.
Comeback in Forest View. All right, guys. Green Wave, final score, 28-27 with a comeback win over Forest View. Forest View is leading pretty much the whole game. We'll get into that in just a few minutes.
Somebody call 911 for Jeff.
He just passed
out. He'll give us a call here in just a little bit. Folks, we're going to take calls after 11. Hold your calls till after 11. We're going to try to get our scores, and some of our announcers get in and give us their calls. So if you're fans, just hold on. We'll give you the phone number just a little bit. We're trying to get all our news and numbers.
I'm waiting for Coach Chris Honk to call me from.
Is Chris going to call you?
He's supposed to call in tonight.
He's going to call you and not call me?
No, he's going to call the station.
Oh, call the station.
He's actually going to talk to both of them.
Yeah, okay.
Well, okay. All right, the other scores on the night and the other two boards, Dennis and William, or Dennis, you'll take care of those?
Yeah, Fred T. Ford and West Lincoln tonight. I got to give a tip of the hat to Terry and the West Lincoln Rebels tonight. 42-10 over Fred T. Ford. Pisgah 35-13 over RS Central. It was East Henderson 47, the Chase Trojans 21. St. Stephen's and Maiden tonight. I was a little surprised at this score, Kevin, because Maiden is really good this year, but they only beat St. Stephen's 21-13.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I agree, Dennis, on that. I expected a bigger score on that. Now, Maiden in 3 games coming in tonight had only given up 6 total points, so I expected 13 or less, obviously, from the St. Stephen's, but Maiden offense, I don't know if they had a bad night or a good defense.
Newton Conover 41, East Burke 14, and it was Bandy's 62 over Bunker Hill 6. Thomas Jefferson, Jerry Cash, and the Griffons are piling it up this year, 54-14 over Trinity. And you were talking about Chris Hawk and the Mountain Island Charter team, 60-0 over Victory Christian tonight. And it was Clover, South Carolina. 30 to 21 over the South Point Red Raiders. All right, Calvin's trying to get your attention.
Oh, he is. I got Tom Cinefonti's on the phone.
Oh,
Tom,
Lord.
working hard for East Rutherford tonight. Want to thank him, Trent Marty, and everything they did the last few days, getting everything going and running up there at East Rutherford and Burns. Roller Coaster Tom Cinefonti is what Will wants to nickname you, Tom. It's fun listening to you, man. Is what he's saying. I think on that one, but Burns. Did they have a roller coaster? Was this a letdown game after the big win, or is East Rutherford just the real deal, and South Point and Shelby and the rest of this conference and everybody needs to get ready for this?
Well, I'm just going to tell you that conference better get ready for that team, because they have some guys that can take it the distance at any moment. Now, the Mooney kid is the real deal. They've got about 3 or 4 others. I don't have all my notes and all that in front of me right now because I'm driving down the road, but they had an 85-yard touchdown, 76-yard touchdown, 46-yard touchdown. There was one time, Kevin, is they had 3 straight plays of 40-plus yards for touchdowns. I mean, they were just getting to the second level and just outrunning everybody.
Yeah, I think I was watching, Tom, at that exact point. I had just saw that, it was 7-7 there at halftime. I'm like, well, it's going to be a good game. I was excited about it. Then they got that long run to make it 13-7. I'm like, well, Burns still in. This ain't no big deal. Next thing I know, that one kid, like you said, as soon as he got second level, he was gone. And I was telling these guys about that earlier in the program. He might be one of the fastest players around. It'll be tough to handle for Shelby and everybody else.
Yeah, they better be prepared for it. And it was a little bit. The defense got a little gassed on the first play of the game. They broke for 65 yards, but Pryor was able to run him down. And then, as Pryor had to play both sides of the ball, a lot of our guys playing both sides of the ball. I mean, they got wore down, and once they got wore down, and once they broke the second level, I mean, they'd open up the whole other line, split the linebackers, and outrun the DBs. I mean, it was backyard football, man. I mean, it was just, they were running up and down the field, and it was, for a while there, it was hard to watch. They had 5 touchdowns in the third quarter, Kevin. I mean, 5 touchdowns in the third quarter alone. And like I said, all on big explosive plays. They didn't need any kind of long drives down the field. So, I mean, it was just like hit with a sledgehammer. I'm letting Matthew out. I want to appreciate Matthew help me out tonight. Hey, a little side note, Matthew's going to Haiti next week, so people be thinking and praying about him as he's going on a little missionary work next week. So he's heading out. All right, Matt, be good. We'll see you next week or 2 weeks, man.
All right, Tom. Appreciate you
it was
giving us some inside information. I just wanted to quickly ask you, Tom, do you think after your big win over Shelby last week, this was really a letdown of the kids, or was East just that good?
Not really. I mean, they Dennis, they could flat out run. I mean, it wasn't just one. I mean, it was 2 or 3 they had that were just outrunning the defensive backs, everybody. But I think once a team runs 2 or 3 just long touchdowns on you, it's a hot, humid night. A lot of guys playing both sides of the ball. I mean, they just couldn't catch them, and it was kind of, I think it was like psychological warfare. I mean, I think they were just so mentally exhausted from what had happened to them that they just couldn't do anything about it. The best thing they did the last time they had the ball, they kept it 6 minutes. They ran 13 plays, and they drove 59 yards for a touchdown. And that was Burns. And that was like a relief because East Rutherford didn't have the ball again. And I kept saying on the radio, just run the ball up the middle, run the clock, and get out of here and regroup because, you could just say, well, they let down, da-da-da-da. They got whipped, Dennis. I mean, there's no arguing about it. They got whipped, and they're going to have to work on some technique up front and some tackling angles, and, they've got to go back to the drawing board a little bit.
All right, Tom. Well, we appreciate it. Who you guys got next week?
Well, we'll be riding up to Hendersonville next week, and I've looked at them, and they've been putting up a lot of points. Don't know too much. I know Kevin has been asking me about whether they're going to let us do video, and I have called and I have emailed, and nobody has gotten back to me. Nobody likes me, Dennis, so we're waiting. We're waiting to see if if they'll respond. So if anybody's listening, I'm not sure if we'll have video. I know we'll have audio next week, so we'll have some coverage, and hopefully I'll find out real soon. I'll put it on my Facebook, and Kevin can put it on the webpage, and we'll figure out whether we'll have video coverage or not.
Oh, Tom,
All right, thank you, Tom.
Appreciate all your efforts, and go Browns.
All right, we got Hunter. We got Hunter Yancey on the line. He's at the Lincoln game with a big, giant 46-0 win.
Yeah.
And Hunter, it's been a tough couple weeks for Lincoln here to start the season, but that's got to make them feel good after a big win tonight.
Oh yeah, that's a definite confidence booster, Kevin. You know, big old win like 46-0. You know, they've kind of flexed their muscles on both ends of the ball, which is something that they really weren't able to do in their prior 3 games.
You know, Hunter, just go ahead and, you know, I didn't get to hear any of the game, really. I was over at the Crest game and then we're back here at the station. Give me a refresh of just kind of how Lincoln just dominated this game with a big win.
Lincolnton, you know, the past few weeks have not been able to get much going on offense. Well, tonight, everything clicked. Last week, they really stuck on the ground. Well, the same was for this week. They didn't stay in the big bone, though. They really ran out of the I formation. And Jamal Littlejohn, nothing was little about him, okay? He was a man amongst boys tonight. There's really, me and Ken talked a little bit after the game. There was no other way to put it. He was a man amongst boys. He had 5 total rushing touchdowns. 4 of them were in the first half. This was just a dominant display of running the ball. They did a good job through the air. Man, Jones, he showed some poise, but they did dominate on the ground. East Gaston, the offense was struggling, and really that's kind of an understatement. They couldn't get anything going on the ground. You know, kudos to Lincolnton's defense, who held North Gaston last week to only 8, where North Gaston dropped 69 on East Gaston weeks prior. But that defense showed up again tonight. You know, East Gaston, they laid a huge goose egg. Couldn't even run the ball, and throwing the ball, that was just out of the question. That quarterback, unfortunately, I mean, it's going to sound bad, but this is just, you know, criticism. It is a noodle on that quarterback. So this was just an all-around dominant game by Lincolnton on the offensive side and defensive side.
Well, congratulations to Lincoln Wolves on the big night tonight. Hunter, next week we got a couple of games actually in Lincoln County, even though Lincoln has got the week off. Cherville's got the week off too, so we're going to have 2 games in Lincoln County next week. Bessemer City at North Lincoln, and then you're going to have East Gaston again at East Lincoln. And from what you said, you're looking at a big East Lincoln win there for over East Gaston there.
Absolutely. East Lincoln, their offense is good enough to be able to put up some points. We've seen that over these past few weeks. They've been able to score. They haven't had a real problem, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Lincolnton in prior games had struggled with that until they met East Gaston. So I could see, unfortunately, for East Gaston, this being another blowout coming up against East Lincoln.
All right, Hunter, well, I appreciate it. You go home, get some sleep, and tomorrow we're going to talk about Redskins football.
Hey, man, I'm all about it, baby.
Yeah. Hunter will be here in the morning. Tomorrow, and it'll be Hunter, myself, Carson, and Terry will be giving my NFL preview. Pick up the paper this week in the What's Up Shopper. I've got my preview of all 32 teams. I went through every single game. I didn't write down every single game in the paper, but I went through every single game, picked every single game on the schedule, and come out with my predictions and records for this year. So see where your Redskins are, Hunter. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, buddy.
Sounds good, man. I'll see y'all in the morning.
Hey, real quick. You stayed out of the suites in the press box tonight, so you'll make it tomorrow, right?
Yes. I stayed out of the suite.
He had too many brownies last week at Lincoln and Will. He couldn't get up the next morning.
Oh, man. A brownie hangover?
Hey.
Come on, man.
Brownie hangover, yeah. That's a good hangover if you ask me, okay?
What kind of brownies was that? You hadn't been out to Colorado, have you?
Hunter, have a good night, buddy.
Yeah, you guys too. I'll see y'all in the morning.
All right, man. That's Hunter Yancey and WLON. Tonight, Lincoln 46-0 winners on the night. They improve. That's their first win of the season now to 1-3. Almost had it last week against North Gaston lost by 1, 8-7. That's just heartbreaking. Looking
Kevin,
for a first win.
We have a call from Coach
Who do?
Chris Hawk of the Mountain Island Charter.
Uh-oh.
Will?
Hey,
Let's
Chris, you
welcome
there?
Chris.
Is he there?
Hey, Chris, you there?
Maybe we hung up on you. We'll get you back on in just a second.
Call back, Chris.
But let's give some of the. Did he write up another score? I was looking down. I thought he wrote something up there. I got East Lincoln 41-22 over North Gaston. Ashbrook 28-27 over Forest View. Cuthbertson falls to Kings Mountain 48-19. Milton Baker and Danny Akers making their way back from Drone through the woods, and they took the back way, and so. These two fellas, I'm not sure they're using their iPhone iMaps.
There is no back way
I think
from Drone because Drone is the back
way.
Well,
I think they're using an actual map. I think they're actually using an actual map to get to Drone, and so they're navigating right now and couldn't call.
Lewis
they said they'll call a little bit.
It's not that hard to get to Drone.
That's what it's not that hard. Well, when you got two old fellas in map, maybe it is.
All right.
Coach, I think we got Coach on back on the line.
Coach.
Hey, Coach Hawk, you there?
How you guys doing?
Doing good. Tell us about the game tonight. Y'all put up some big numbers.
Yeah, it was a good game. We ran the ball real good. We got a backup quarterback now, so Demetrius, he did pretty good tonight. They try to get ready for Bessemer City 2 weeks.
Bessemer City. I tell you what, I think that's going to be an interesting game. Try to promise me one thing, Chris. You won't run up the score because it might give Kevin some acid reflux or something here. But tell us a little bit about your Mountain Charter team. I know you've got a quarterback that's pretty good going to Wisconsin. What about your overall team this year? For those who may not know about Mountain Charter, give them a little information.
Well, everybody know about our star running back, Elijah Burris. He got his first offer from North Carolina last week.
Okay.
And, he actually got some strong offers from strong looks from Wisconsin and Wake Forest.
Okay.
Let's see, we got a 9th grader. He's a 4-star rated, Gabe Stevenson. He's been doing real good this year.
All right.
And actually, our defense is a whole lot better than it was last year. Led by Jackson Marley, Tate Johnson. We got some real good kids, real good players this year. So it should have a fun year.
Well, I know you're coaching over there as a Crest graduate. You played at Crest, but are you coaching what? Offensive, defensive line? What are you doing?
I help out with the offensive line, but then too I help out with recruiting. So I do a little bit both of them.
Recruiting. We could use you back at Crest.
No. Y'all need no help at Crest. You got guys going to Clemson and Alabama A&M, so y'all good at Crest.
Okay. That was just a joke, by the way, for all you Burns people listening in out there.
He didn't mean recruiting kids. He meant helping get the recruiters to come in. Look at the kids.
Y'all are lighting a fire. I don't think y'all want to put out.
Send those emails to.
Not for me.
Well, Coach, what you got next week?
We got a bye next week.
Okay, then you got the Yellow Jackets following that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have them at home. It looks like they're having a little bit of a down year from last year, and it should be a good matchup for that. We've been talking all year, conference championship wise, thinking you guys, Thomas Jefferson, Cherville, and Bessemer City all going to make a good run at this again. You feeling that same way? Feeling good about that?
Oh yeah, Cherville to me is a surprise team, but they got that Gunther kid from Bessemer City. They doing real good this year. Thomas Jefferson got Noman McMullins, so they got a real good team this year. And Bessemer City, they got probably the best front seven in our conference, so they're gonna be real tough next week. Well, we got the next.
All right. Well, Chris, we wish you luck and good things. Give us a call in. Let us know how you're doing. Thomas Jefferson did win tonight, 54-14 over Trinity. Cherville won tonight, 46-38 over Drone. So that's Andre in the background there. He's an old Ironman. But anyway, continue your great success, and we wish you the best the rest of the year, Chris.
How Crest do tonight?
Crest?
27-6.
Okay.
Okay.
They handled business, Coach, tonight against the Shelby Golden Lions.
I see.
Yep. Will's got his crest helmet on.
Oh yeah.
You need to get us. I tell you what, Coach. You need to get us one of those cool-looking helmets put up here on our show.
Yeah, we need a Mountain Island charter helmet for this way up here.
I see what I can do.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you for
Thanks,
calling,
guys.
Coach.
Take it easy.
All right, thank you, Coach. Mountain Island Charter wins tonight 60-0 over Victory Christian. So looking forward to that. They got a bye week and then Bessemer City, and they're going to do pretty good. We got Trey. I think it's Albright on the line. I think Dad don't know.
Another Chris fan.
Is that Trey Albright there?
What's going on, Dennis?
Trey, my man. I tell you what, I knew you would call win or tie.
I told you that before the game. You said call in. I said, well, if we win, I will.
Well, you're a man of your word, Trey. You were down on the field tonight. Give us the bird's eye view from down where the action was, the popping, the runs, the passes, the catches. Fill us in. What was this game like down on the field?
Well, Dennis, I'm just going to say, first things first. This is by far the best rivalry in this state in high school football. I don't question. Anybody questions that, they need to get checked out. This is the absolute best rivalry, hands down. You got Mallard Creek and Butler. They don't hold a candle to Shelby and Crest. These two teams go at it every year. We knew Shelby was down coming in this year. Crest was undefeated. Anything can happen in this rivalry, and it usually does. But, Crest come out early, got the stop on fourth down, Dennis, and I thought that kind of set the tone. It was fourth and by half a yard or a yard, and Shelby didn't get it. I think Crest's defense put the stamp on it right there for the rest of the game. And, Crest's defense, the defensive line kind of dominated the linebackers. The defensive line kind of dominated tonight. I know Xander's got a pick six late in the game, or third quarter, to kind of put the game away. Peyton Kimmerlin, Dennis, I can't say anything. I can't say great things about this kid. This kid is just outstanding. The improvement he has made over the last 2 years to his senior year is just outstanding. And he's got a command of this offense right now, and he's really being the senior leader this team needs. And, we got a lot of seniors this year, and they stepped up tonight. The tempers got flaring a little bit there in the third quarter, fourth quarter a little bit. I thought the seniors stepped up and they showed some poise, and, they calmed things down, and they went back and handled their business. And, Shelby, Dennis, like I said, everybody knows they're down this year, but, hey, they're going to get it clicking by the end of the year. They're going to be there in November, and they're going to make their run, and Coach Ware's going to have them right. So, Shelby fans, don't jump off the bandwagon now. Don't jump off the cliff. But, they're going to get it together. And I can't remember, I said on the radio the other night, I can't remember the last time Shelby had 150 yards of offense total for a game. That's just not their offense. So, they'll figure things out, and they'll be there at the end in that conference.
Well, Trey, one thing I see about Peyton this year, tough as nails. He got hurt in that South Point game, struggled with an injury, played the game, and won. Tonight, injury came back. He was limping around with that ankle. What's his condition right now after the game?
He was good after the game. I think he was just cramping up a little bit, and he was not going to take himself out of that game, Dennis. I can tell you that on the sidelines. They were going to have to pull him off that field, and they took him out a couple plays, and he was ready to go back in. So, went back in limping, but he finished the game, and he had a big run there for a first down there to ice the game. But a great game by the offensive line. I think Crest ran for over 200 yards. I think Jalen Graham had 157 yards rushing. Michael Green had a 15-yard touchdown catch. Nate Bland had a touchdown catch, and it was an all-around team effort. This team's rounding into form. Sure, we got to work on some things, but every team's got to work on some things. I don't think anybody's playing their best ball right now. So I think Coach Eddings is heading in that direction to get the team playing their best ball late in the season.
Well, we've got a real test next week in Weddington. They're a tough team.
You said that right.
We've seen them in the playoffs. We've beat them in the playoffs for several years, but we're playing them down there. They're off to a great start. And next week, I think, is really going to be the test of how good and how far this Crest Charger group can go this year.
You're exactly right, Dennis. You're talking about currently the number 4 and number 5 team in the state in the 3A ranks going at it next week, both undefeated. So it's going to be, might be the game of the week in the state of North Carolina. So it's going to be a hard-hitting game. Weddington knows how to. They're very disciplined. They don't beat themselves. They won't turn the ball over. They're a smart team. They're very well coached, and nothing but high praise for that team every time we play them. They just know what to do, and their football IQ is off the charts. So, Chris is right there with them, and we'll see. Like you said, it's kind of a measuring stick for both teams. I think see what both teams have and bring to the table, and we might see them again later on in the year. Who knows? It might be first of 2 meetings. So,
you took the words right out of my mouth.
I'm looking forward to a hard-hitting game, very physical game. Tonight was very physical. I don't know about the injury front on Crest. I don't think we have too many injuries. There might be some bumps and bruises, but nothing major. So, we start 3-0 with the schedule that Crest has. I'll take it, and we'll go on to the next one. But speaking of schedules, man, we were talking up there after the game about Shelby's schedule. They have been on the road 3 straight weeks. That's unheard of in high school football. That's a hard schedule, and 3 quality teams. There's no cupcakes on those 3 teams they played, and they got the home game, but they stare Kings Mountain right in the face next week. So
that's it. And they still got East Rutherford and South Point in the conference that they've got to play. So they got their work cut out for them, but they got a good staff over there as far as coaches go, and the kids will keep working, and they'll figure it out. Well, Trey, I appreciate your taking the time after the game to give us a call. You and Robbie and Andy do a terrific job on the Crest sidelines for us over there. Thank you. We'll be looking forward to hearing from you. That real tough game next week is a key. Chargers, listen to KTC Broadcasting if you want to know how that one turns out.
Hey, Kevin, you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, go Cowboys.
Hey, there you go.
Ooh.
Trey.
How about them Cowboys?
Terry was kind enough to give me the total win-loss record.
All right, Trey, thanks for calling. We got another Cowboy fan on the line waiting, holding. This is Cowboy Smokey the Bandit Baker heading down the road, trucking from Drone. Have y'all found your way towards Cherryville at least? Y'all going in southeasterly direction there, Milton?
We think we're pointed in the correct direction.
All right.
I said 5 miles to Mount Mitchell.
To Mount Mitchell.
Look
Went the wrong way.
Look at that big shiny star up to the north.
Take a right.
No, we actually are on Highway 18 doing quite well. Found us a pretty good little country route to Drone High School, and really a very easy trip. And we stayed off the interstate. That was a good thing. Cherryville, thought early in the game it was going to be an easy trip for Cherryville. They scored on the second play of the game after receiving the opening kickoff, 60-yard touchdown pass from Dylan Harden to Clay Florine, and it was like they were ready to roll. I believe they had it 6-6 and then 18-6. And then it was a 4-point game, 18-14. Drone started, flexing their muscle a little bit and playing pretty good. Had a running back that was just totally unstoppable tonight. He scored every point but 2 of the 38 points for Drone. He scored the touchdowns. He scored the 2-point conversions. His name was Tyler McKinney. Only 1 2-point conversion that he didn't have anything to do with. Final score ended up 48-36, I believe it was, wasn't it, Danny? And Cherryville avenged lost last week, got back on the winning track. They're 3-1 on the season now. Drone's 0-4. Tell them what, Danny? Penalties. Oh yeah, penalties are ridiculous. Just ridiculous. The amount of penalties in the game for both teams, and most of them are personal foul penalties. But anyway, Silver had a 24-point lead late in the game. Looked like they were ready to put it on ice, and then all of a sudden, Drone scores. They get an onside kick. They get a second chance at an onside kick because of a penalty on Cherryville. They recover that onside kick. They go on in to score again. But on the when it was down to an 8-point game, they just didn't have. It was 46-38. Final. Got down to an 8-point game, and they just didn't. They didn't get the onside kick, and Cherryville ran the clock out to win the game. But yeah, I mean, Jerome certainly didn't look like the team we thought we were going to see. We thought we were going to see pretty much a rout, and it never was that. Big game for Clay Florine at 60-yard touchdown reception, over 100 yards pass receiving, had a 60-yard interception return for a touchdown, and good night for quarterback Dylan Harden. Good night on defense for a lot of players. Who did we give our defensive player of the game to, Danny? Sean Kostrick, I believe. Yeah, we gave Sean Kostrick our defensive player of the game. He had a pretty big game. He's a great defensive player. But anyway, guys, that's about what happened up at Drone. Cherryville's got open date next week, and we're going to be on WCSL next week covering Bessemer City at North Lincoln.
Right.
So we've seen Bessemer City one time this year already, opening game of the season. So we'll get to see Bessemer City again next Friday night, and Cherryville will be idle next week.
All right, Milton, y'all be safe coming on home, buddy.
We're looking for ball.
Hey, real quick, Milton, before you get off the phone, Cowboys and Panthers Sunday. What's your prediction?
That's right. That's right.
Way to go, Milton.
Cowboys and Panthers. That's right.
That's right.
Danny says Panthers. I don't say Cowboys. I never pick against them.
All right, there you go. Milton, y'all be careful and tell Danny y'all have a good night.
Never bet money.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Y'all be careful. Have a good night, Milton and Danny.
All right.
All right, we got another caller here.
Yeah,
Kevin.
got Rob Roop on the phone tonight. He was doing the Crest broadcast with Andy Foster back on the mic for us. Been a few weeks since we've seen Andy. Good to hear from him again and everybody over there. 27-6 victory tonight. Crest over Shelby Golden Lions. Rob, how about them Chargers?
Look, guys, here we got Chris Shelby. Big night. Everybody's revved up. And I'd be doggone if I don't turn on my radio and I hear Trey Albright saying, "Go Cowboys."
Yeah,
well, gentlemen, I've got one thing to say to all the Cowboy fans, all the Panther fans, and the rest of the freaking NFL. Baby, it's EAGLES Eagles, your number one team in the NFC East right now, and you're defending Super Bowl champion.
Robbie, I just want you to know that last night I was pulling for the Eagles.
Okay, Robbie.
And Atlanta in the NFC South is 0-1.
You can't beat Nick Foles. Just that's all you gotta say, Rob. You can't beat Nick Foles.
Hey, here's the thing, guys. Imagine this: y'all watching the Eagles win with Nick Foles as quarterback. Wait till the MVP Carson Wentz gets back under center. Then we really got something to talk about.
You better stick with the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we'll stick with the MVP.
The MVP of the Super Bowl. You guys are trying to run off too quick.
I'll go back to Danny White.
He's a nobody. He was MVP in the Super Bowl.
But guys, seriously though, Chris Shelby tonight, great game, a lot of intensity. You can tell with Shelby they're still struggling to find that combination of offensive players to put on the field together. You can see the talent. I mean, they've got guys that can move, they got guys that can run, they got guys that can catch. It's just going to be a matter of Coach Ware finding the right combination offensively for what they want to do. But a lot of credit, like Trey said, to the Crest defense. This is going to be a really special group of guys.
Yeah, I think B.J. Renzel is a man amongst kids, man, out there on the field, man. He's huge. He plays.
Yeah, he was.
He's got an unbelievable motor.
Yeah, he was actually our overall player of the game tonight with the way he played. Our defensive player of the game was Chris Richardson, the defensive end for Crest. Thought he played really well. Also, so that's going to be big. And guys, I'm telling you, this matchup next Friday, Crest and Weddington, two top five teams in 3A right now. Going to Weddington, Weddington's going to be well coached. They're not going to make mistakes. Crest has got to come out and play a big-time game if they're going to beat Weddington Friday night.
I have seen some film of Weddington this year, Robbie. The quarterback, as usual, is having a great year, senior year. He is going to be a load for the Crest defensive players to put down, and he can throw that ball. He has got an arm on him. So, we just need a great overall team effort.
Right. And I'll tell you guys, as a Crest person, if you'd have told me after the Shelby game, Crest is 3-0, I'm going to take it running high and be very happy that they got through those first 3 games with that kind of record, knowing the kind of teams, especially South Point and Shelby are. I think that's a great start for the Chargers.
Well, historically, I think this team record right now puts us in a position. As I told Trey, if you go down to Weddington and you beat Weddington at Weddington with this group, watch out. You're going to be ranked up there in the top teams of the state. Not that you are already. This is 4 and 5 ranked teams in the state. But you're going to be knocking on that number 1 door up there and sending word to everybody, whether they're in the East or in the West, the Chargers are back.
And Dennis, I'm going to tell you, this is a big game for conference bragging rights. You look at the Big South, I believe coming tonight only had 3 or 4 losses as a conference. This conference Weddington is with Weddington, Charlotte Catholic, Marvin Ridge, all those schools, the exact same thing going on there. A lot of people are saying these may be the best 2 conferences in the state right now. So there's a lot of bragging rights going into this game as well between these 2 schools.
And they may well see each other again down the road in the second, third, whatever rounds of playoffs. We may have to go back to Weddington, or Weddington have to come here as they have in the past. So
absolutely right.
Good
They're going to be one of those teams.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I had to get my Eagles in here before this night ended, but I enjoy the job you do, and we look forward to next Friday night.
Thank you, Robbie.
See you guys.
Fly, Robbie, fly.
Fly.
That's what we're going to say. I also want to thank Rob for his wife helping out, and also RJ is the cameraman this year. His son on the JV team for there for Crest. They played a little bit last night, and congratulations to the Chargers tonight. I want to thank all of them for helping me. Tim was with the college tonight, helping with the future Minds of America. I'm working on the top 10, folks. I think I got it. I think the top 20 now, I guess. I think we got the top 20 down, and we're going to have some fun things to talk about. Who is just not even in the top 20 anymore, off the board, on the board.
Wait a minute. It's probably Crest is not even in the top 20.
Well, they might not be. We'll have to look at it. They barely cracked the top 10, Dennis. They're in there somewhere. West Lincoln, Terry, he wants to know where they're at.
The Rebels.
The Rebels, I'll give you a hint. They're a top 10 team.
Woo.
West Lincoln's in the top 10. Crest, they're in the top 10. I'll give you a hint on that, Dennis.
Well, thank you, Kevin. show is nice of you.
Hey, I'll even give you another hint. They may even move up in the poll.
Wow.
How about that?
We can only dream.
Well, Terry's going to tell us in the morning about how West Lincoln should be number 1, but we'll let him talk about that in the morning. Now, don't forget tomorrow morning, folks. This is Week 1 NFL. We've got NFL preview tomorrow on our sports show, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Tune in, same channel, same bat time, same bat channel. Watch us online on KTC. Be Hunter, Carson, myself. We're going to talk a little college football this week about App almost pulled off the win. Jalen Moore, former Crest Charger in the gang, almost pulled off another win in the Big Ten.
UNC in East Carolina tomorrow. 2 Crest guys down East Carolina and a Burns coach down there.
Yep.
So,
How about some of the players that had big games this week from our areas? How about Sage Surratt, 11 catches, 150 yards, player of the week in the ACC. Outstanding. How about Zach Leslie upsetting East Carolina, the one-handed catch?
And then he has to come and play Gardner Webb again this week.
Yeah. Let's see, who else did we have on the from our local teams that shined out? Carry-On Moore had a big game in their win. Former Hunter Husky. I'm trying to think who else. I don't know. I'll tell you who else to look forward to. Last year, the Chicago Bears had a really good defense. They just added Khalil Mack.
They have a Crest player.
That's
going to
open up some things for Mr. Bullard. He threw out some googly eyes at the contract that Aaron Donald got the other day, and it's a lot of money. Jonathan, work hard.
Kevin, before we go any further, I think we need to remember from your experience at the World Series and Andy and other guys, the loss this week of Mike Hogwood.
Yes, big time local announcer. If you're from this area at all. It's not even listening to the World Series because it's great that he did that because we all knew the voice when he came in. They just didn't send somebody that nobody's ever heard from. Long time growing up here, long time ACC voice here in our area and on the radio. You know, if you wasn't listening to, if it wasn't a Woody Durham game, you were more than likely hearing if you listen to anything else. Mike Hodgwog, and he passed away yesterday, I think.
Way too soon. He was just 65. And I noticed that Paul Cameron, who's an old sports guy, by the way, indicated
used to be the sports guy.
He's retiring at the end of the year. And one of the things he cited was Mike's sudden death. And it's time for me to go spend some time with my family.
That's, so there you go. Will the Thrills back in just in time to talk to Bobby, who's on the phone, talk about his Golden Lines. Not too big of a win. Last week we couldn't get to take the phone calls. Thanks for calling back again, Miss Bobby, as usual. And welcome back to the show. And too bad for your lines. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Hey. What about them Shelby Golden Lions? Even though they got beat tonight, I just want to say they're still one of the greatest teams in Cleveland County.
Well, Bobby, we know that you and Steve DeGree always support the Lions. Win or lose, we can count on you guys for a call and support of your Golden Lions. And I think that speaks highly of you two guys.
Yeah, well, I like what Steve said earlier tonight. I'm just glad that the fans still support the Shelby Golden Lions despite of what's going on. Shelby has always been the team to beat over the years. And, I was telling someone today that you can't have all good years. And it was just, it's just Shelby's time to just go through that this year. But I can rest assure you, Lancewell will find some way to get that team going. He always has and he always will. He'll find some way to win. So look forward to it. Shelby Golden Lions will be back on the trail.
Well, you've got a tough game coming up this next week with the Kings Mountain Mountaineers, Bobby. And if you guys were able to pull that one off, you would be able to cleanse away some of the disappointment of the last 2 weeks. So, we wish you well against the Mountaineers. That's another one of those county rivalries. And as we say, anytime you're playing a Cleveland County team, you got your hands full.
Oh, yeah. As I said earlier, we got Kings Mountain coming up this week. I look for them to just continue to try to play at the very best. And hopefully by next Friday we'll have some way to see if we can get some kind of offense going. As you were saying earlier, I was listening to you on the radio a while ago, and you was talking about the 3-and-out situation. And that's one of the things that we've been battling with. It seemed like the Shelby just could not generate the offense that they used to have. And I think I'm pretty sure that Lancewell will find out some way to get that going. And I think once we get that going, I think you're going to see a different Shelby Golden Line team. And as always, Shelby has always been a fighter. Even though we've lost 3 in a row, we're not going to give up. Nobody's going to give up. Shelby is just always a team that always tries hard. And everybody knows the background of Shelby Golden Lions. And so, therefore, we may be down now, but we shall return.
I know, Bobby, and that's one thing you can count on. You can't keep a good line down.
No. And also, we're not the only team that's went through this. I remember Chris has been through it. I remember Brad has been through it. But Kings Mountain has been through it. So everybody in Cleveland County has been through it. But in some way, form or fashion, Shelby will return real soon. And I don't think they're going to be down too long.
Oh, they never are, Bobby. This is a temporary situation.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to say, in spite of, I just wish all the Cleveland County teams that's playing real good this year, I wish them all good luck. I like them all, but, I can't, one thing I can say for sure, I just know I love my Shelby Golden Lions, and I'm proud of my boys for the effort that they're trying. And as I said earlier, Coach Lancewell will find some way to get them boys rolling and they'll be be able to put some points on the board. And I'm just so glad that our defense is trying to do their best to hang on in there. And I believe that one day you're going to see something, a new Chevy go to the line team, and hopefully it will be this year.
Spoken like a true line, Bobby. We appreciate your call.
Thanks for calling, Bobby.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. That was Bobby there talking about the Shelby Crest game. Dennis, let's give those scores. Then we can give them all out in a little while we got a little quick break here.
All right, let's start here with the East Rutherford-Burns score tonight. East Rutherford 45, Burns 19. It was Crest 27, Shelby 6 tonight. Cherryville 46, Drone 38. Lincolnton 46, East Gaston 0. Cuthbertson tonight lost to Kings Mountain 48-19. It was Ashbrook over Forest View in a squeaker, Will, 28-27. East Lincoln 41, North Gaston 22. Hunter Huss 35, Hickory 7. Highland, the undefeated Highland Tech 35-28. And Alexander Central 56. North Lincoln 24. Will, take those other two boards there.
West Lincoln 42. Let's go, Terry. West Lincoln 42, Fred T. Ford 10. Pisgah 35, RS Central 13. East Henderson 47, Chase 21. Maiden 21. St. Stephen's 13. East Burke, let's get the winner first. Newton Conover 41, East Burke 14. That's the
Mm-hmm. Do what? Same numbers, they just different.
Joel. Bandy 62, Bunker Hill 6. North Surrey, there's 38, and Community School at Davidson 14. What's that, Commonwealth? Pine Lake Prep 52, and Commonwealth 12. Thomas Jefferson 54, Trinity 14. Mountain Auto Charter 60, Victory Christian 0. Clover, South Carolina 30, and South Point 21.
We got a resident Kings Mountain Mountaineer fan on the line tonight. Big win against Cuthbertson, 48-19. But Joel, if you know, it was a lot closer than that. It was very close there until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I did a little study on Culbertson because they play in that tough conference with Weddington and Charlotte Catherine, or at least Weddington, I know. But I've checked their their schedule. They play a tough schedule, but they got a lot of athletes and they got a big offensive line, big quarterback, big receivers. They was big across the line.
Well, Joel, Kings Mountain, we were looking at I'm trying to think and read at the same time. I can't do that. Give me a second, Dennis. 48-19 with the win night. How did they look without Kalen Mack running the ball? How did the freshman look?
Once we find our identity, we struggle at first, but once he got going, that's second half, he wore him down. He fumbled the ball in the first quarter. That's what set up the early lead for Culbertson, and then it seems like at times they was going to run away on us, and our defense held them to field goals while we were scoring touchdowns. And once our defense finally settled in, we just finally, they was making some big plays, and they're a passing team. They're a good passing team too, and they got a big front line, and our defense just somehow finally figured them out, and we wore them down. And then, in the second half, once we got that little cushion, our freshman running back, Marquise Adams, he took over, and then the other guys that got to touch the ball, they took over and wore them down.
Well, Joe, next week you go to the jungle.
Yeah.
Going to Shelby, big game, Kings Mountain Shelby. How you feel about that one this year?
Like tonight, I was looking forward to this game. Now I can breathe a little bit easier, and even though it's the big game next Friday night, we just got to find a way to go there to the lines then and get a big win next Friday because it's been a while since we won at Shelby.
Do you know the year? I know Terry does. I was just asking if you knew off the top of your head.
Tell you the truth, I've lost because they're on a losing streak right now.
All right, Joel. Well, thanks for calling. You got any other final thoughts before you get out of here?
I just want to. Chris Britton and Coach Pacer, they're doing their thing. They had some big long runs tonight, and once we got that lead, it just hope we can continue for next week, because we need everybody to step up to get a big win next Friday night.
All right, thanks for calling, Joel. You keep watching the Mountaineers and giving us the reports, buddy. Thank you.
All right, good night.
Good night, Joel. Joel Clemmer, Mountaineers night 48-19 winners. Folks, if you're listening to us on the radio, you want to watch online, you go out and about, you can just go to YouTube, type in KTC Broadcast and Renaldo Automobile Postgame Show on any of your searches, and we'll come right up, pop us on live, see Will, see Dennis, myself. Terry pops in every now and then. Andre will pop in every now and then. Some of our announcers will pop in every now and then. You can join us in the studios here on YouTube. Hello, everybody. You can listen on 3 radio stations on Friday nights, WHS 1390 AM, 101.5 FM in Shelby. In Cherryville, you can listen 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. And then in Lincoln County, you listen 101.5 FM and 1050 AM in Lincoln. And Calvin, do we got WGNC on there with us too? Calvin, you got me in there? I can't tell what he said. This is Mike's. I don't know if his mic's working in there. All right. Anyway, we're about to do the top 20. Will, do you want to put them up there, or you just want me to go down?
No, I don't want nothing to do with this.
Where did Andre go? Is Andre down in here? All right. You ready for the top 20?
Is the camera over there on the top 20?
We can, yeah. If you'll, I'll put the camera on it. I can switch over real easy if you'll move them for me. All right, hold on one second.
I need to put on
it's already on it. I just got to go in there and switch it for a sec. All right,
no,
Dennis.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
No, I don't have to switch either. I just got to hit one button because Calvin don't know which button to hit.
No. Just go ahead. Do your raggedy top 20.
Do my raggedy top 20. All right, let me explain the power poll.
Just like you.
Yeah,
I
want to hear this. He's going to explain
for all the intelligent people out there that can follow along, can do math, and can keep up.
Oh my God.
Now, this is different from the one in the paper. One in the paper is strictly my opinion. This is nothing but math. Fuzzy math, but it is. But Will, you like that? This is not an opinion poll. It's an evaluation of how good a season you've had so far. It does not mean I think one team is better than the other, or KTC or anyone else thinks any of these teams are better than the other, or give a hoot. Let me put it that way. I don't care if
in modern sports they call this analytics.
Analytical.
Yeah. So this is nothing more than advanced standing systems for all the schools in our area. PowerPoints consist of teams in our local conference from Gaston, Lincoln, and Cleveland counties. The further you advance in the playoffs, the further you advance in the poll. Teams are assigned PowerPoints based on strength of victories and loss. Tiebreakers is based on record, defensive points allowed, head-to-head matchups, and offensive points. So you need PowerPoints first, then your record, and then defensive points allowed. That's all it needs. You need PowerPoints, record, and defensive.
You want to keep saying PowerPoints, or you want to get on with the show?
PowerPoints.
PowerPoint.
I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation next time, Will, just for you. Number 20. Oh, no, let's do the teams that are out of the poll this week. Out of the poll. Not in the top 20. They're in the hallway, down the hall. We've got a board in here.
Where the rest of them?
They're down the hall. Where the rest of them?
Kevin's office.
They're in the hallway behind that door right there on the wall.
Oh, really?
They're shame. They're in the hall of shame behind Terry Reinhardt. That's where we keep him. He's in the closet of shame over there. So here's the people down the hall of shame right now, I guess. East Gaston, Chase, RS Central, Union Academy, Forest View, North Lincoln, Lincoln, Lake Norman Charter, Bessemer City, and Burns. Burns lost tonight at East Rutherford, knocks them out of the top 20.
Send those cards and letters to Kevin Hastings.
So Burns is number 21. And real quick, Dennis, I want you to read a couple of scores. I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera so we can do the top 10 on the camera.
I would be more than happy to read some scores. Quickly, it was East Rutherford 45, Burns 19, Crest 27, Shelby 6, Cherryville 46, Drone 38, Lincolnton 46, East Gaston 0, Kings Mountain 48, Cuthbertson 19. It was Ashbrook 28, Forest View 27. East Lincoln defeated North Gaston 41-22. Hunter Huss over Hickory 35-7. Highland Tech, the undefeated Highland Tech team, 35-28 over Lake Norman Charter. Alexander Central rolled over North Lincoln 56-24. West Lincoln Rebels of Terry Reinhardt 42, Fred T. Ford 0. It was Pisgah 35, RS Central 13. East Henderson 47, Chase 21. It was Maiden 21, St. Stephen's 13. East Burke got defeated by Newton Conover tonight 41-14. It was Bandy's 62, Bunker Hill 6. Community School of Davidson got defeated tonight by North Surrey 38-14. Pine Lake Prep rolled over Commonwealth 52-12. It was Thomas Jefferson Griffons tonight, Coach Jerry Cash's team 54, Trinity 14, and Chris Hawk called in of Mountain Island Charter victory tonight, 60-0 over Victory Christian, and Clover beat the mighty South Point Red Raiders 30-21. Will, any comment on any of those scores?
I'm here.
Oh, it's
get Will back in the front of the camera. Will, back to the board. Sorry, had to get it up. All right, we are ready to rock. All right, so Burns is in the hallway. They're at 21, so they're down the hallway. They were the one team from the poll, so they missed the board, folks. If you're watching online, you can see the board, see some of the scores for tonight, and see Will in his beautiful purple and teal What's Up Shopper shirt. You can win those on Saturdays with Calvin. Number 20 at 1-3, the Shelby Golden Lions. 0 power points right now. At 1-3, they got 0 power points. That means, how do they have 0 at 1-3 and not negative? That means they've played some good teams and they've beat a good team so far. So they're right now they're at 1-3. Number 19. Well, Will, you can go ahead and throw that Forest View Jaguar down the hallway too. He's in the Hall of Shame right now. Number 19, the North Gaston Wildcats. They're way up here to the front. They back up after losing tonight. North Gaston loses 41-22 to East Lincoln. They're number 19. Josiah is in the house. What's up, buddy? He's looking for more pizza, I think. Speaking of pizzas, we got our pizza every Friday night from Domino's here in Cherryville. Give them a call. I think they're open up. I think they told me yesterday they were open up till 1 a.m. every night here in Cherryville. Number 18. Community School of Davidson, out of the Hall of Shame, Hallway of Shame, not Hall of Shame, Hallway of Shame, and they are now number 18 in the power poll. They also have 0 points. They're 2-1, however. Number 17 in the power poll with 1 point. Now these teams have 1 point. At 1-2 overall, from down the hallway, East Lincoln Mustangs. East Lincoln jumps from off the pole into the top 20, so they'll make the paper this week. East Lincoln at 1-2 with 1 power point. Also with 1 power point, the number 16 team in the poll, Pine Lake Prep Pride. Pine Lake Prep Pride. They're coming out from the Hall of Shame. Pride. What would be the pride?
Lions.
Think about that. You love a good line, Will. A pride of lions is more than one lion. Oh. There we go. It looked like some fire. Well, Pine Lake Prep, Will just said your logo is fire, so good job there with that one. Okay. Number 15.
See, that's the papa line, the mama line, and the baby line.
Will, you boy that just called us a minute ago over at Mountain Island Charter, they're number 15. Move them Raptors to the 15 spot. They're 3-1 on the season. They've got 2 power points. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Cheryl's moving on up, Bubby.
Will, they won 60-0 tonight, and they moved down.
They lost a spot. 60-0 and lost the spot in the power poll. It's a tough poll, man.
Run up the score next week, Chris.
I'm trying to tell you, tough poll. Number 14. Now these teams have 3 power points. Okay, we're starting to get into the 3 power points. Number 14, the South Point Red Raiders dropped from 9 to 14 after the loss to Clover. 9 to 14. Number 13 in the power poll, the Newton Conover Red Devils jumped from 16 to 13 in the power poll. Newton Conover's got 3 power points. They are now officially 2-1. What's up, Mr. Bush? You joining the show? Oh, you going to the? Well, there's a kitchen over He's going around the cameras. There we go. All right, so number 12, the Highland Tech Rams at 2-0. They've got 3 power points, undefeated after 4 weeks on the season. What a great start for Highland Tech. Great story for coming out from over there.
Fantastic.
Number 11, Will. There's those Ironmen. Cherville Ironman Andre are number 11 in the power poll. About time. They were number 15 last week after the loss. Now they moved back up after another win to the 11th spot.
They haven't been that good since Andre and you played for them.
Yeah.
And they wasn't that good then.
Well, I do remember Andre was on a team that was beating Shelby.
Really?
Yes.
And then how many interceptions did you throw?
I didn't throw any in that game. Andre was on a team that was beating a Shelby who had Norris Hopper on the team. So, be careful, Dennis, before you start putting pins. I don't want to tell you the final score, Will. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. I said Cherville Ironman were leading Shelby when Norris Hopper was on the team.
Was this football or baseball?
Football, I promise. I promise. Well, y'all know they didn't beat him in baseball. Ralph Roberts is pitching. Come on, meow.
Come on now.
Number 10, Will, the Thrill. Thomas Jefferson Griffons. They've got 4 points. We're in the 4-point range now for a power points. They're the only team that's got 4 points, by the way. All right, Terry, your Rebels are in the house now. Your Rebels have moved up 1 spot after the win tonight over the Fred T4. Was that the Battle of Hawk Hill? Yeah, I thought that was. I thought that's what that was. I want to make sure I got that right. So y'all have got the trophy right now, Terry. Y'all have had it for a while, right? Oh, it comes back to West. Did they bring it tonight to the game? All right, yeah, to bring it tonight to the game. I want to make sure. Remember, Cherville and Bessemer got the belt, and it exchanges twice a year. That's so cool. I love a belt. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're playing PlayStation, you should have a belt to give to the winner. Don't you think? Will, you want a belt? He's still wondering where these Crest Chargers are going to be. Number 8. Will, quit standing right in front of that camera. Number 8 on the board. You got to do like Vanna White. There you go. There you go. Number 8. Is she retiring? The Stuart Kramer Storm are number 8. Stuart Kramer, 5 power points.
Okay.
Now this next team has 7 power points.
7?
7 power points. They're number 7 in the power poll. They're the only team with 7 power points. At 3-0 and giving up 23 points on the season. The Crest Chargers.
That would be the Crest Chargers.
The Crest Chargers are number 7.
7 is our lucky number.
They've beat South Point, TC Roberson, and Shelby.
Check.
7th. Number 6 in the power poll.
Straighten that up, Will. You got it.
With 8 points, the Bandy's Trojans. So Bandy stays in the 6th spot. They were in 6th last week. They don't move. How about number 5? That doesn't change either. Ashbrook stays in the 5 spot. How about number 4? That doesn't change either. Maiden stays in the 4. How about number 3? That stays in the same spot. Kings Mountain with 10 power points is in the number 3 spot. And now we've got a big finish.
Yeah.
Drum roll, please. The top 2 teams. And they stay the same.
Man.
Hunter Huss, number 1. East Rutherford, number 2. Chalk this week, boys. The top 6 teams all won. The top 6 teams all did good. The 7th team, Stuart Kramer, did not play. They ended up moving back to 8. Crest did play. They move up to the 7th spot. So there you go, top 7 teams. In fact, let's see. The first team in our poll to lose a game tonight was the number 9 team, South Point. And,
You're absolutely correct.
All right, I don't know what's going on in there, but anyway, South Point was our first team that lost in our top. It was number 9, so everybody went up through there. So we said earlier in the year, Will and Dennis and everyone listening, that the poll works itself out.
Yeah,
I think the last week and this week have proven, with no changes in the poll after all 6 teams winning, kind of proving out the poll is trying to work out there a little bit, guys. Y'all just got to work a little bit better. Y'all get there one of these days.
I see that.
Y'all start beating 3A teams, I think. Y'all going to start getting some more points here very shortly.
I see that green wave ahead of us, Will.
We ready for another quick break, Calvin, before we get out of here? Yeah. Probably way out. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Is different for everybody. Nate gets up for the early shift, while Brad is just getting home from the night shift. Pam runs a PR and a 5K, while Drew runs late to work. Beth proposes a road trip to her boyfriend, while Mark proposes to his girlfriend. Luckily, there's a McDonald's for every morning.
Start your morning with a rich, smooth, and freshly brewed McCafe coffee. And now, get any size for just $1 at McDonald's. Limited time offer. Price of participation may vary. A la carte only.
Attention Kmart Pharmacy customers. You are welcome at Medical Arts Pharmacy on Grover Street in Shelby and Professional Pharmacy on East College Avenue in Bowling Springs. Bring your prescription transfers to your hometown locally owned pharmacies. All you need is your prescription bottle for your transfer. So if you've been a Kmart Pharmacy customer, you are invited to transfer your prescriptions over to Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street in Shelby, and Professional Pharmacy, 139 East College Avenue in Bowling Springs. Your locally owned and operated hometown pharmacies. Buy from the originator, not the imitator. Before you buy your next set of tires, check around and compare, and you'll find the best prices at Okies Tire and Recap in Shelby. With name brands like Goodyear, Mastercraft, Michelin, Yokohama, Firestone, GT Radio, Dura, and more. Plus, Okies has used tires too, and road service is available, and they'll rotate and balance your tires for the lifetime of your tire. Okies Tire and Recapping, 800 West Warren Street in Shelby, Cleveland County's hometown dealer for over 39 years. There's a new Kubota for every job, every harvest, every task. From zero-turn mowers to utility vehicles to tractors to construction equipment, Kubota fits the bill. Kubota products are engineered to work only 2 shifts, day and night. Kubota has tractors ranging from 18 to 168 horsepower. Whether you're moving tons of earth or just cutting your lawn, Kubota will never let you down. And check out their zero-turn mowers with decks from 42 to 60 inches. The Kubota Z-Series can handle any terrain. See the lineup today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive at the Highway 74 bypass Oak Grove Road intersection in Kings Mountain.
Little hungry? Think pizza at America's hometown place, Pizza Inn on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. They specialize in delicious, mouth-watering food. Check out their famous Pizza the Way You Like It Pizza Buffet every day, 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Wow! We're talking bacon cheeseburger, buffalo chicken, taco pizza, and more. Why, they have delicious dessert pizzas also. Chocolate chip. Good. Pizza Inn, East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. Proud to support Cleveland County High School football.
Do you know what Putnam Distributors sells? Auto parts, truck parts, stuff for all sorts of equipment, plus 25 brands of motor oil, hydraulic fluids, filters, batteries, even nuts and bolts, and all at low, low prices. Putnam Distributors is located in downtown Patterson Springs, just 5 minutes from Kmart and the Cleveland Mall. Go south on Highway 226 or Highway 180 and just follow the signs. Putnam's prices are low on everything and for everybody. Call 704-487-9395 or visit them online at PutnamDistributors.com.
And step right up, folks.
Let's do what?
And see Little Egypt.
Where is he?
The famous dance of the pyramids. Now, she walks. She talks. She crawls on her belly like a reptile. Just one thing time.
She walks, she talks. Her name is Little Egypt. Yeah. Phoenix, Arizona, 1949. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, Terry, we have the man, the legend, here sitting here with us. Terry, look at those scores tonight. What stands out to you other than West Lincoln 42, Fred T. Ford 10?
Well, when I look at it, I think it's Chris beating Shelby by the margin. Mm-hmm. You know, and Shelby keeps setting back in their offense. I mean, you know, when we talked to Coach Jones at the very start of the year, he told us, he said they lost 81% of their offense.
Yeah.
You know, and when you do that, it takes a while to get it all
Renaldo
back.
Key in Shelby.
And see there, they don't even want to hear that over in Shelby. But anyway.
Fire that operator in there.
I don't know who that operator is.
But, you know, surprisingly, Burns. 1 week they show up. Alexander Central pounded them in game 1. Then they show up last week and beat Shelby, and then they get manhandled this week by East Rutherford. East Rutherford, hey, then maybe they're a whole lot better than what people think, and I understand that part of it. But which Burns team shows up each week? Other scores, Lincoln finally gets their first victory.
Yeah.
Highland Tech, congratulations to them. Hunter,
Cherryville
yes.
on a roll.
Hunter Huss, congratulations to them. They're starting to make their name known. As one of the top 2A teams in the state of North Carolina. I think everybody knows they're going to have to face High Brighton, your defending state champions, who are having no trouble with anybody so far this year.
Could that be a Western final?
I didn't know
Could
that.
be.
I thought Huss and Chris was in the same.
Yeah, they are. Huss is 3A.
Huss is 3A.
3A?
That's right.
Yeah, Huss, Chris, and
Huss won't be playing High Brighton.
Oh. So they moved up. Yeah. So there you go.
We switched the conferences every
that's
couple
right.
years. You got it mixed up on that one, yeah.
Yeah.
Huss won't have to worry about High Brighton, and they have to worry about Charlotte Catholic.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Charlotte Christian wasn't worried about Charlotte
Hey,
Catholic. So,
Hey, I love playing down at Charlotte Catholic. That's a neat little stadium down there at Keffer. Of course, we're 2-0 down there. Enough said. Terry.
Who's we? How many
Charlotte
yards you got, Dennis?
Hey,
please. Nobody wants to talk to you about Bessemer City because you're going to go on and on.
Dude, look, just because y'all ain't going to have the best scoreboard in the area, don't get mad at me.
Hey, but can you put anything on it?
Yeah, we can.
Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, y'all doing good. When y'all spoke of Charlotte Catholic, West Lincoln is 2-2 all time against Charlotte Catholic. So.
That's why we don't schedule y'all.
That's
Y'all
right.
too tough for us.
And I was about to say, Terry, I thought we beat them at Cherryville one time when in 9th or 10th grade or something like that. And then there was my 11th or 12th grade year, they hammered us. But I think it was early on there that when that might have been when they first started putting some together football teams and playing this.
And that was back in the late 70s.
But no, that was not in the late 70s when I played. I'm talking about early on when they were putting together those football teams and playing this way against us and stuff. Dodo. Go ahead.
Chris used to play Cherryville. They used to play Lincoln. They used to play Chase. And we get whooped by all of them.
I can see this is why we don't let him talk on the post-game show. 'Cause he says this stuff like this in the pregame, and we got to waste so much time trying to figure out what he's talking about.
Well, Terry, I called in on the pregame just to hype things a little bit, but you noticed I was very calm about that. I didn't want to upset my Shelby people. I didn't predict a big score. I said it would be a tight game, slobber knocker. Chris got away a little bit. Shelby 6 actually came when the defensive back fell down and they got a long touchdown pass. But other than that, Shelby's got some things that are just about that close to getting it going.
It's all up front. It's all up front.
Hey.
Front five start working up and letting the quarterback be who he is instead of trying to move him around. He's not a mobile quarterback.
I like Steve
Let
Degree
him sit
said
in the pocket. It starts up front.
they can still win this conference.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing to. It's we're playing out of conference, and now it's time to start to get. You don't want to say start to get serious now. Crest and Shelby. Jeff was making the point the other night. A lot of times, in these matchups, you really don't, concern yourself too much because it wasn't an actual conference game. You could, if you had an injured guy, if you really needed to, kind of set him if you needed to. That y'all two are here. I'm glad you mentioned Tony Romo earlier, Terry. We get to have fun and everything on the weekends and everything, and so you guys get to join us. We got 5 minutes. Let's have a little fun. I don't know if you guys listened this weekend, last weekend, but there was a poll from Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
If you could one athlete, name the one athlete, you could pick 1 year, one. Just I want to see him at his best. Watch one game or 1 year. The one athlete in any sport, and they took a poll, across the nation or world, however the internet works. Who would you guys? I'll let you name 2 if you can't name 1. We got just a minute or 2. Who would you? If you just freeze them and watch a game, you just it's so hard to explain. We talk on Saturdays trying to explain to these young kids about how good Michael was, Jordan. To the young kids, and just like if y'all could just watch him one time, y'all would just shut up.
Well, I've got a pair of Michael Jordan's actual game shoes that I won over at Kings Mountain on a raffle ticket in 1992. Because Michael used to come and live in Kings Mountain in the summers and play Little League baseball. But as far as basketball, 6 championships.
We got 2 minutes.
6 championships.
Dennis, give me an athlete you'd like to watch in their prime.
Michael Jordan.
You got any others? Or
Mickey
one or
Mantle.
two?
Oscar Robertson.
Terry, we kind of talked to our Saturday. I'm going to give y'all the voting list. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah, they want Tony Romo. Will, I think it's a dead thing. And Tony Romo is a heck of a golfer, by the way.
All right. Tied at 11. Tied at 11. I got to reach over here because my phone just went dead, so I'm trying to see this from the side. Tied at 11, just outside the top 10. Michael Vick, Mike Tyson, Randy Moss. Number 10. I'm going to have to pull it up. Dirk Nowitzki was number 10.
He was good.
Hey, don't forget when he won his championship, he beat the Beatles, the Heatles in the championship, just destroyed them. He beat Kobe, and he also beat Portland in that run. Wayne Gretzky was number 9. I'm going to skip number 8 for a minute.
Wow.
Number 7, Kobe Bryant.
The greatest Charlotte Hornet of all time.
Yeah, number 6. Number 6, this was a surprise to me. People said Derrick Rose. Number 6. If you could freeze time and watch a play.
Derrick Rose.
Yep.
Minus the injury.
Number 5 is Michael.
5.
Yep. Number 4. Number 4, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, he was good.
Number 3, Tiger Woods. Number 2, Ken Griffey Jr. And number 1 on the list, Bo Jackson.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, bad Bo. Baseball or football?
Who was number 8?
The only quarterback on the list that made
Tony
the top
Romo.
10. That if this world, Will, could freeze time and watch one, this is a Sports Illustrated, and if the world could freeze time and watch one quarterback play football, Terry, in the history of the world, who was it?
It says
it's
Tony
Kevin's man
Romo.
crush.
Tony Romo.
It's Kevin's man crush.
This is the same. I'm going to name the list for you, Will, when you go to bed tonight. I want this to go through your head. Bo Jackson, Ken Griffey Jr., Tiger Woods, Barry Sanders, Michael Jordan's, Kobe Bryant, Wayne Gretzky, and Tony Romo.
Good night,
Have a good night, everybody. Renaldo All broadcast. We had a great dinner from Domino's Pizza in Cherryville. If you're in Cherryville, give the pizza call to Domino's.
That's a nightmare, man. That's a nightmare.
And his dad is playing the Dallas thing in our ear.
The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. Forever, Tony. Saturday Sports Talk, 8 to 10 next week on Friday night, 5:30 to 7 pregame. More football and the postgame. Thanks, guys, for listening to KTCBroadcasting.com.
People are talking about why they listen.
Best music around.
We play a lot of music.
The Balls Beach Oldies and Sports Stations, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, online at KDCBroadcasting.com, and W268CU Shelby.
Number 1 for fun.
Okay, roll the drums.
The Boss, 101.5 FM, 1390 AM, WOHS Shelby.
We're watching out for a few isolated showers, perhaps a thunderstorm through the early evening hours. That means area high school football games could see a shower. It's partly cloudy overnight, the low in the low 70s. Now, with a frontal boundary moving into the state tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms are more likely. They're more likely in our northern counties during the day, then moving south and into the night. The high temperature in the mid to upper 80s. Sunday is mostly cloudy, cooler. Showers are possible, the high in the low to mid 80s. I'm Mike Mays in the North Carolina News Network Weather Center.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's 12 o'clock, and the temperature is 77 degrees.
This is Terry Reinhart with the Renaldo Auto Mall scoreboard for Friday, September the 7th, 2018. It was Lincoln and 46, East Gaston 0. Alexander Central 56, North Lincoln 24. East Lincoln 41, North Gaston 22. West Lincoln 42, Fred T. Ford 10. Ashbrook 28, Forest View 27. It was Hunter Huss over Hickory 35-7. East Rutherford 45, Burns 19. Crest over Shelby 27-6. Kings Mountain over Cupperson 48-19. It was Cherryville defeating Drawn 46-38. It was Highland Tech 35, Lake Norman Charter 20.